Volume 4, Redemption, Resentment, and Rift Magic. I would very much like to study the artifact if ever such an opportunity presented itself. Though, I know not how I would mitigate the downsides of wielding that particular terrible item. The item in question, the simple cane found by Yurei's sister those hundreds of years ago, was like any other. An ornate obsidian handle attached to a polished length of wood, initially presented with a smooth hardwood knot near the pommel. There's no accounts, written or oral, of what happened when the young girl, distraught from a particularly unfortunate sparring incident, clutched the inexplicably discarded cane for the first time, but it's reasonable to assume it was a significant moment given the immense power it began to bestow upon her. When the child returned to the dojo, she was changed, no longer as weak as she was before, and with a newfound vigor and a determination that seemed to rival even Yurei's. Sources vary wildly as to the scope of her newfound power, though at this early stage her abilities were still subtle, with little to no visual, or at the very least immediately noticeable cues to those around her. Yurei, soon to be final Koru Shinzo, sparred against her changed sister that day. There was a tournament at the dojo for those training as Koru Shinzo, and predictably, she won the event. Quite handily if not for the final fight. Her opponent in that last match turned out to be her sister, who'd similarly breezed through her matches thanks to her newfound strength and resilience. The cane she'd found continued to grow her abilities for as long as she wielded it, fueling her with energy and confidence. Yurei's victory was rather a formality than a reality. As we now know, she fell before her sister who, in a moment of empowered desperation, reportedly unleashed a volley of withering spectral blasts, described as screaming faces, that knocked Yurei from the ring. The blast of energy that billowed around them revealed a strange ocular tattoo between the younger sister's shoulder blades that was not there before. A mark of things to come, it would seem. This day, notably, also marks the first time in millennia that rift magic had been seen on Samar, and as one would expect, had dire consequences for everyone on that world. It's hard to say whether what followed could have been avoided or if fate, for those who believe in it, had been preordained by preceding events. The wedge between Yurei and her sister only widened from then on, as the former continued her training alone thanks to the latter being disqualified from the tournament and all but locked up by her elders for using forbidden magic. Before we move on to the consequences of this day, it is curious to consider that the younger sister's earlier opponent, previously undistinguished in the record, defeated her so easily that day. Had she not suffered such a comprehensive loss, she may never have found that cursed cane. Regardless of personal speculation, however, this portion of their shared history is foundational for understanding the full ramifications of the Day of Ascension as well as the Day of Sundering. I will continue my studies and documentation into the histories of the last Koru Shinzo and her sister.